A very good evening to you all. The Development Bank of Seychelles, DBS, has today initiated the process of writing off loans under the portfolio of the Small Business Financing Agency, SBFA, which is administered by DBS. This follows a notification from the Ministry of Finance, Economic Planning, Trade and Investment to DBS. And it was in the State of the Nation address last month, that President Patrick Emini announced the government's decision to write off the loan of a sum of 59 million rupees. The final sum now stands at over 63 million rupees and covers over 1,200 clients. During a press conference this afternoon, the Secretary of State for Finance, Economic Planning, Trade and Investment, Patrick Payet, said that the prescription period has lapsed, which makes it impossible to recuperate the loan.
The total loan is 1,214 loans as at yesterday, based on the last document received by DBS, and it's for an equivalent of 63,709,339.48 cents. That's a total loan portfolio that we anticipate to be written off, that DBS has received a notification and approval from the minister. We've been working closely with DBS to provide us with the latest information. Today, the Minister of Finance has notified DBS the approval of granting the write-off of loans under the Small Business Financing Agency portfolio, which is being administered by DBS since 2019. And these loans have legally been prescribed as in accordance to Article 2271 of the Civil Code of Seychelles. And based on that, we have assessed all legal position, financial implication, and also the governance requirement of the portfolio of the SBFA loan. And we have determined that the loan for which the prescription period has elapsed and where no lawful interruption of prescription has occurred. So we are not able to enforce. So in the discussion with DBS, we have seen the necessary to regularize the books of SBFA. So this is why today we have notified DBS. So DBS will undertake their own assessment for the different, for all the loans, to ensure that at least those loans meet the criteria as per the Article 2271 of the Civil Code. But also, once they complete the exercise, they will notify the individual customer to advise them that the process has complete and the loan has been written off. And also, once they complete the exercise, we will publish the full list of the names of those written off loans on our side.
The National Unity Committee formally presented to the bill to President of the Republic in order to establish a new legal body to implement the 47 recommendations of the Truth, Reconciliation and National Unity Commission, TRNUC. The bill was presented during a meeting at State House this morning. The chairperson of the committee, former President Danifo, said the proposed body will have access to victims' files to determine individual compensation. He added that once compensation amounts are finalized, a separate repatriation trust fund would be created to disburse payments to victims. The bill was also submitted to the Cabinet of Ministers and approval was granted prior to its presentation to the National Assembly. President Patrick Emini pledged his full support, assuring the committee of his commitment to ensure that the process proceeds smoothly.
In my State of the Nation address last month, I reaffirm that my administration will not offer empty promises. I announced that we have set aside 20 million rupees in the national budget this year to begin the reparation process. I am pleased to confirm that the Minister of Finance has already acted on this directive. Today we meet to finalize the proposed bill before I present it to the Cabinet. I am encouraged to learn that the committee has already met with the Leader of the Opposition and the Leader of Government Business in the National Assembly. It is my deepest wish that this bill receives bipartisan support as the healing of our nation should transcend political lines. Once the National Assembly passes the bill, I will move swiftly to assent to it. We will then begin the transparent process of nominating and appointing the commissioners, and the Minister of Finance will establish the Reparation Trust Fund. I am heartened by the close collaboration between the teams gathered here today. Your work is the foundation upon which we will build a more unified Seychelles.
Mr. Bernard Georges, Chairman of the National Assembly Committee on the Association of Victoria Districts, whose mandate is to select 3 names to submit to President Emine for the appointment of the mayor, said that the committee sought to remove politics from the process. This was because the association was politically evenly balanced, with 4 members from the l'Union démocratique Sicile-Waldiès and 4 from the United Seychelles US, a situation that could have led to a deadlock and prevented them from reaching an agreement. The association had agreed on the formula to be used to select the 3 names to be submitted to the president. However, the US members later withdrew their support for that formula. In fact, the committee prepared 2 reports for submission to the president, listing the 3 candidates who obtained the highest scores following the established procedures. The US members also submitted a minority report which was forwarded to the president by the Speaker of the National Assembly. The National Assembly has approved a budget of 56.2 million rupees for the Public Service Department, and this is a revision of the 2025 budget, which was previously set at 48 million rupees, an increase in the number of appointments both at ministerial level and the other roles such as Secretary of State were amongst the concerns raised by the LDS member Wivell Woodcock. For his part, Vice President Sébastien Pillay noted that it is the National Assembly that approves government ministers. He added that senior positions such as Secretaries of State and other high-ranking officials play an important role in helping the government to effectively deliver the programs it had presented to the people. Vice President Pillay added that so far the results indicate that these decisions have been beneficial. Also in the National Assembly, the Seychelles Intelligence Service SIS is not conducting surveillance on individuals through phone calls, nor it is placing anyone on travel blacklists. Any surveillance equipment acquired from abroad is used solely to ensure the security of State House. Vice President Sébastien Pillay and Director General of SIS Sabri Khan made these statements yesterday afternoon while addressing questions regarding the allocation and the use of the agency's budget. The National Assembly has approved the SIS budget for this year, which amounts to 23,700,000 rupees. And with this, we end this news summary. I'll be back at 8 with the Creole Bulletin. Good evening.